To the big blast in northwest Omaha. Witnesses tell KMTV it sounded like a truck hitting a house this afternoon.
The explosion happened at a home at 87th and Grand. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Emily Zink is live there with the very latest. Emily?
Well, guys, police say that two men were taken to the hospital to be treated for burns. After the hospital, they're headed to jail.
The house just shook, and it sounded like a semi came through, and just like you heard a semi crash.
April Tucker says her afternoon chores were interrupted by what sounded like an explosion across the street.
Saw the back windows, and they were just gone. The whole back of the house is just gone.
Tucker says her neighbor and his friend said there had been some type of explosion in their kitchen, but they wouldn't elaborate.
And he said, I got the fire out, but he had stuff all up and down his arms, and he didn't have a shirt on, and there was obviously red marks on his chest. So I was like, I'm calling, like, you need help.
Tucker says her neighbor was hesitant to call 911, but she insisted on calling for help.
We were called for an explosion at a house, and now we're just trying to determine the factors as to why that happened.
Police say when they arrived on scene, they called in the narcotics unit.
We were originally called out because they thought it might have been a meth lab, which it was not.
Undercover officers say the kitchen explosion wasn't caused by a meth lab, but it was still caused by drug activity. Two men were trying to make hash oil on their stove.
They use Everclear, butane. You light the Everclear and the butane. You use marijuana that you wouldn't necessarily smoke.
Investigators say making hash oil is not only illegal, but extremely dangerous. The alcohol vapors used to make the oil are highly flammable. Officers say the men are looking at potential felony charges, but they may be in bigger trouble for the mess they made.
They did pretty good damage to the house. That's probably the bigger punishment.
Police tell me the windows of the kitchen are completely gone and the kitchen is charred. But other than that, they say the house is structurally sound after that explosion. Reporting live near 87th and Grand, Emily Zink, KMTV Action 3 News.